Hey everybody, Krystal Gamer here with a new speed build video for you. So kind of excited about this just because it feels like it has been forever since I've built. But there's been so much going on lately. You know, we had the holidays, number one, that was kind of a thing. And everyone seemed extraordinarily busy over the holidays. I know that my viewership, my interaction, all that stuff, according to the numbers, for a while there was kind of cut in half. So I'm assuming now that it's January, everything will be back in swing and normal and all of that. But, you know, so it was the holidays, and then I took a little break too over the holidays. Not really too much of a break because I kind of kept the channel going and everything, but I took a little bit of personal Sims break in that I played City Skylines for a while just because I was getting a little bit burnt out on The Sims. I've been playing now for a year straight without playing another game, and I am a computer gamer, and not just for The Sims. And so I was kind of itching to play something else and just have a little break. You know, when you do the channels for a while, it can start to feel like work, and you don't want it to feel that way. Like, you don't want to ever be dreading doing a video or creating a build or like any of it. You don't want to be dreading it, you know, or anything like that. So I think it's important to maintain a balance and, you know, get some other stuff in there every once in a while. So I played City Skylines for a little bit, and that was fun. It totally screwed up my camera movement on this game because that game apparently has opposite camera movement, so that was kind of interesting. You know, as far as how you move the mouse and the keys and all of that stuff, it's like the exact opposite of The Sims. So that's been a little bit fun. But yeah, so that was kind of a nice little reprieve playing City Skylines for a little bit. And I've also been doing a lot of different custom content. You guys have seen a little of it. I'm trying to kind of like space out the releases of it a little bit, but I have quite a few custom content pieces that I've made that are ready to go. So I've been learning how to do that. And then too, it takes time. Like, I'll make the custom content piece, but I won't do the ad work for it. Like, that takes a little while to take the pictures. You know, set up. A lot of times you want to set up a room with whatever you've created. If it's not a cast piece, you know, and then if it's a cast piece, you kind of want to take pictures of the Sims in whatever you've created. So there's always that extra time too. And I have a tendency to make the custom content and don't do that stuff until I'm ready to actually put something out. So I probably should start getting in the habit of doing it a little bit differently. Like, if I can get in the habit of, when I make the custom content, do all the ad work for it, I'd make my life a whole lot easier. So maybe I'll get to that at some point. I don't know. But so far I haven't been particularly great about that. We'll see. I'm new to custom content creation though, and so we'll see. It'll go. I'm wanting to spend a little bit more time learning how to do more custom content, but this build has no custom content, speaking of custom content. So I did make this one without custom content for those that want to download it, and it'll be on the gallery, of course, because now I can put stuff directly on the gallery after I create it. Yay! Because those that follow me regularly will know that I was holding off during that time period that they had the gallery set to only show popular creators. And so I was holding off, and now I've got to release builds. That's another thing I'm trying to space out. I've got to release some of my little backlog of builds that I have, because I do have a few that I built during that time period that didn't end up getting released. Although I was sort of smart during that time period in a way, kind of not on purpose smart, but situational smart, I guess, because we were building up Katarina's Windenburg, and so there were a lot of things where I built shells, apartment building shells, and people were furnishing them. So apartment building shells, I can put those out on the gallery. I don't really expect those to get downloaded. I don't know how many people download stuff that isn't furnished that's apartment buildings. I don't know how much call there is for that. I've created them specifically for Katarina's LP, so I don't know how much call there is for that stuff outside of something like that, but I would assume it's not super high. So I didn't care about whether or not I was releasing the apartment buildings, and I had to anyway, of course, because other people were furnishing them. But I have, you know, so I didn't end up with the backlog of builds that I would have had otherwise. That kind of prevented it because I was building apartment shells instead of like full builds. So I have a log of builds, but not to the degree that I would have had a backlog otherwise. So but they'll come. I'm going to be releasing those in spurts, and I'm going to be releasing CC stuff in spurts. That's been fun, doing the CC, trying to learn how to do that and everything. I don't know how to create meshes and all of that. That's still a mystery, but I'm experimenting more and more with different CC stuff, and so it's kind of it's a very cool thing to be able to have a lot of flexibility with the game and what you want to create and what you want to use. I've been doing a lot of CC shopping too, and man, some people are just the artwork and the creations and all of that stuff is pretty amazing. It's hard not to think, why haven't the game creators done this? Like, one of the things was sort of big. I downloaded a living room set, and then I put stuff on different pieces of the living room set, and there was like a gazillion slots, like a gazillion different ways that I could put clutter items on these different surface pieces. And I can't help but think, why don't we have way more slots on our items? Like, why does a dresser only have 3 slots? Why don't we have way more selection of spaces on where we can put stuff on a dresser? But Grant sort of fielded this online the other day, and he makes a good point. As someone that used to run software teams, I know he's making a very good point. And even I need a reminder of this sometimes, is the fact that they don't just build for the platform that I'm on. They're not just building for PC, they're building for everything. And so anytime they do anything, they do have to make it work across all of the different platforms. And there is a possibility, I don't know, but there is a possibility that other platforms, certain things maybe don't code as easily on other platforms or something like that. Something like the slots on Surfaces, I would think that that's kind of the same across the board, but you never know. I'm not sure. Without talking to a developer, I don't know exactly what they have going on the back end, but there are a lot of CC creators that create amazing things for the game, and I'll tell you what, I really do wish that we had tons of slots on all our items with Surfaces. That much I can say. And the backyard here that we're looking at with the swings, the grass there is CC, but I tested it for some reason. I think because it's terrain paint, the build doesn't come up with CC. So, and I'm going to assume that when you download the build that you will not see that particular CC terrain paint. I'm assuming that the terrain is just going to be blank there. But yeah, I've downloaded a couple of different terrain paints, and there's one that's a grass that I think looks way more grassy. Couple actually that I think look way more grassy than anything that we have. We just have these kind of colors. They don't look really grassy to me. So I love those. And I really wish our system was different in that it would show CC items without checking the box. Because, no one checks the box, right? I forget all the time to check the box, even when I'm looking for my own stuff that has custom content. Like, eventually, I'm sure I'll get used to that because I just started working with custom content over the last few months. But it's not something that I remember to check the box when I'm looking at the gallery, and I'll be looking for my own stuff, and I'll be like, where is this? And I'll start to go like into a panic over some awesome build that I've lost or something. And I'm like, oh my God, it's not in my library. I saved it, blah, blah. And then, so I'll be in like this major panic, and then I'll remember, oh wait, it has CC. I've got to hit the button, and then I'll find it. And so, but yeah, I'll put myself into a panic because I'll forget to hit that stupid CC button. So I know other people are probably not hitting it. People that don't work with CC, I guarantee you they're not hitting it because they don't want it. So I think that, I don't know. I build for 2 reasons, though. I build for myself and for my channel more than for the gallery. Like, I know that there are some people like Ninny. Oh my God, if you're a gallery person, downloader person, like, download her stuff. Like, she's so good. She builds specifically for the gallery. She photographs specifically for the gallery. So everyone has different stuff in mind. And so for me, I think that my builds are predominantly for myself and for the channel, and not as much for downloading. I mean, I share them when the gallery is set up normal, and I want people to download them, but it's not my first and foremost goal. If it was, I might actually build to a budget or something, which doesn't happen. This build, speaking of building to a budget, I should probably talk about this build for a couple minutes. This build it's tiny. I call it Krystal cottage because it's supposed to be, cottage-like, but it's a big house really on a little lot. It's only a 20 by 20 lot, and I wanted to have a cottagey look and feel a little bit. And it's funny because it started out with the roofs, like so many things do for me. It's so weird that like most of my building, it stems from roofs down, I swear. But I wanted to use the double points on the roof. You know how you can have a couple of other manipulation points on the roofs, and I hardly ever use that. Y'all know I love roofs. I love doing different things with roofs. I don't know why I hardly ever use the other manipulation points. I should more, honestly, because it does allow you to do some cuter things with roofs and all of that. And so I wanted a cottagey look and feel with the roofs. That was the main thing. And I purposely chose a 20 by 20 lot for this because if you know me, you know that I will build to the edge a lot. I will build a huge thing. Like, I have a really hard time keeping things small. And I started talking about budget, talk about not having or not keeping things small and having a hard time keeping things small. Yeah, the cost on this house, I can't remember exactly what my final price is, but I do believe it's over $130,000. So other people will make cottages on 20 by 20 lots for like $20,000. I make a cottage on a 20 by 20 lot for like $130,000. So I have said it before and I shall say it again. If you are a budget shopper, my builds are so not for you. Yes, I don't go budget conscious on the builds at all. I just put whatever I think looks good. Don't pay attention to the prices, like hardly ever, unless it's a specific challenge that I want to do. But I don't usually torture myself with money limitations because there's enough of that in real life, man. I think one of the best things about computer life is being able to spend fake money. Like, I love fake shopping. Fake shopping is so fabulous. Like CC shopping for clothes. Oh my God, fake shopping is great. It like scratches the itch, and so you don't have to shop in real life. And it's the same thing. Like, I've noticed, like buying stuff for Katarina, remodeling her house. It's sort of like the same thing. Like, I'm shopping for her house, right? So I get that shopping itch scratched without ever having to spend actual money and go to a store. Now, granted, I don't get any real life stuff, but who cares? I already have plenty of stuff in my house anyway. Too much stuff. A ton of junk that I don't need. Not so much, I don't want to say junk, but my grandmother passed away and I ended up with half of her house of stuff because I'm too sentimental to get rid of stuff. And then when my mom downsized significantly, we cleaned out her house and then I ended up with more stuff. So yeah, I'm loaded with mostly other people's stuff for sentimental reasons because I can't seem to let anything go, and I should. Because I have more stuff that I don't need. It's like the American way. I swear to God, Americans have so much stuff that we don't need. But eventually the plan is to downsize significantly. My husband and I want to try RV living when we get a little bit older. And so we're going to need to downsize. So I definitely don't need more stuff. But I can absolutely enjoy shopping for house stuff and a whole bunch of stuff virtually. It's awesome. Totally love it. But speaking of shopping, I have to actually talk to you guys about something kind of serious for a second. And that's a good as lead-in as any. So I'm going to be putting a poll out on Twitter for those that follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be putting out a poll about donation services. I'm looking at Buy Me Coffee, Patreon, and PayPal. And this is not a money grubbing tack or anything like that. I know I'm super small. I probably shouldn't even be asking anyone for donations or anything yet. But the thing is I'm approaching my 1 year mark of doing this, and we had some things happen last year that were kind of unexpected, and my husband started a new business last year. And so y'all know when you start a new business, the first few years are kind of a struggle. And I've been doing this for a year in hopes of building it up and stuff. But the thing is it's not sustainable unless I start bringing in something. And so I'm going to choose some kind of donation thing, and hopefully maybe some super generous people want to make donations now and then. Of course, I won't, no obligation or anything like that, but maybe some generous people out there that have some money or something maybe want to donate. So I want to set up a service, and I don't know which the best direction is to go in. I've looked at those three a little bit. I'm sort of leaning towards the Buy Me Coffee, but I'm thinking maybe Patreon, just because that one seems more popular. But the Buy Me Coffee seems like I don't know, it seems like the most no hassle, best kind of deal, but it doesn't allow recurring stuff. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly which direction to go in. So I thought I would ask you guys, if you have an opinion one way or the other, maybe comment below, or if not, check my Twitter for the tweet. I should be probably putting that out. I don't know if I'm going to put it out today or tomorrow, but sometime this week I'll put out a tweet asking about that. And yeah, I'd really be interested in feedback from you guys, and I hope no one's like mad at me for thinking about setting up a donation service or whatnot, but I want to be able to keep doing this, and I'm in a situation where I can't keep doing this permanently unless I start bringing in something. And YouTube, it takes like years to get to any level of decent income on YouTube itself, so this is the only other thing I can think of. So I'm gonna try that and see, you know, what happens with it. But I have gabbed my way all the way to the screenshots. I'm really good at just like gabbing about nothing, apparently. And so we're here, which is good. My favorite part. I love the screenshots. And this guy gives you guys a view of all of this stuff finalized, especially since I cut a ton of footage at the end just because we would have had a forever video for a little 20 by 20 cottage, and that's just unreasonable. But this way here we get the final look. The daughter's room is my favorite room in the house, by the way, for whatever that's worth. And hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you like the video and all of that stuff. And if you do, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Make sure you hit the little bell for notifications, whether you are or aren't subscribed, because YouTube doesn't notify unless you hit the bell. And even then, sometimes it's a mystery whether they do or not. But nonetheless, thank you so much for spending the time with me today. I appreciate it. And I do hope to see y'all next time around. Bye now.